Perfect. So in this workshop, we're going to be looking at developing self-awareness, and the initial part of that is just a little overview of why. Why would we do that? How does it benefit us on both our kind of personal and spiritual growth? And then we're going to go through some techniques and some methods and a bit of teaching to give you some actual practical things that you can use to help evolve your own self-awareness. And I remember I was chatting a bit back with somebody at an event, and we were talking about self-awareness, and they were a bit dismissive, a bit kind of like, well, why would you bother? What's it? Why do we need it? And I said to them, I was like, well, if you think about a relationship, if you got a friend, and if you don't know anything about them, come their birthday or Christmas, how do you know what to get them? If they're struggling a bit, how do you know what's the right thing to say? How do you support that friend when they need your support if you don't know anything about them? The answer is not very well. And it's the same for ourselves. How can we know what's the right career choice to make if we don't have a certain level of self-awareness? How can we know whether walking up that mountain is going to be good for us or not if we don't have that level of self-awareness? And self-awareness is both useful on a practical level, so yeah, knowing what makes us feel good, what does not. But when it comes to our own development as well, if you're not self-aware, you can't be aware of the progress you are making when you're working on yourself, whether that's just on a personal or whether you're going on the more bigger spiritual journey. And also, if you're not self-aware, you're less likely to know, or it might be later on before you notice if there's something not quite right with you, whether that's emotionally, mentally, physically. But if you have very little self-awareness and you're beginning, I don't know, to build anxiety, for instance, if you have little self-awareness, you might not become aware of that until it comes and slaps you in the face. Whereas with self-awareness, you can kind of, if you're checking in with yourself every day, if you're taking time to be aware of how you're feeling in relationship to your life, then you're more likely to notice that anxiety, that stress, or whatever it is earlier on. And obviously, the earlier on you notice those things, the better it is to then be able to deal with it, and the easier it is to deal with it when it's a small issue rather than only being aware of it when it becomes a big issue. So there really are many benefits to self-awareness. And so what I'm going to do today is we're going to take you through, we're going to go through a guided meditation to help you increase self-awareness and mindfulness. And self-awareness and mindfulness, being mindful of where we're at, is basically the same thing. And both practices bring us into the moment. You can't be hugely self-aware if you're thinking ahead into the future or living in the past. So self-awareness practices, like mindfulness practices, bring us into the now. And when we're in the now and we're functioning in a more this time centric way, we tend to make better decisions. We tend to be more relaxed about life. We tend to be able to go with the flow and see things for what they are and take those opportunities that come our way. So we're going to begin with the guided meditation. Then we're going to go into some hypnosis, and then I'm going to share another way of becoming more self-aware. None of these things are difficult, and just by following the instructions, you'll get the most from them. So let us begin first of all with a meditation. And obviously, if you're re-listening to this, do not listen to it whilst driving, operating machinery, possibly even skydiving. It's probably not a good idea. Anyway, so let's begin first of all by having a stretch, having a fidget. I always do that because it helps me focus in. And we'll begin by taking 3 deep breaths. And there's no need to close your eyes on the first breath or on the second breath, but on the third breath. As you breathe in and as you breathe out and as you begin to relax, you can just allow your eyes to gently close. So breathing in, hold it, and breathe out. Breathing in, hold it, and breathing out. Breathing in, hold it, and breathe out, allowing your eyes to close. Just return to your natural breath. Gentle rise and fall, your own natural tide and rhythm. And just bring your attention to your breath. Breathing all the way down into the base of the stomach, fully filling the lungs and then exhaling. Following the path of that breath all the way in as it cools the nostrils coming in. And then as you breathe out, just really enjoying that sense of relaxation wherever you begin to notice that now. As you continue to breathe and you continue to relax, just tell yourself, I am going to relax. I am going to meditate. Outside noises will not distract me. Everyday thoughts will not disturb me. They just help me let go, relax, and focus within. And just continue to focus on your breath, observing without thought each inhalation and exhalation, allowing any thoughts or distractions to just pass you by, without judgment or attachment. And I wonder just how deep you can go into this meditation today. And as I guide you through this meditation, I may ask you to picture things. Don't worry if you can't see them. Just think about them, imagine them however you do that. Now as we relax deeper. I want you to imagine yourself in your mind's eye, standing in front of a mirror. Now I don't know what that mirror looks like to you, whether it's a nice new frame, whether it's a full body mirror, whether it's a half mirror, whether it's an old antique looking mirror. But just be there now, standing in front of that mirror, seeing what you see, hearing what you hear and feeling what you feel as you stand in front of that mirror now. And as you're standing in front of that mirror, I want you to look deeply into your own eyes. Observe the thoughts. What is that you are thinking as you gaze at yourself, gazing back at you? Do not judge these thoughts. Just watch them, observe them, be aware of them, however you do that. And as you become aware of those thoughts, as you look at yourself in the mirror, gazing into your own eyes, what emotions lie there behind the thoughts? What emotions are you feeling as those thoughts pass you by? Become aware of the thoughts and the accompanying emotions. And be aware of any sensations, whatever they may be, that arise within you now. Looking in the mirror, looking deep into your own eyes, observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations that arise within you now. And as you're gazing into that mirror, observing those thoughts, emotions, and sensations, I wonder if there are any areas of your life where you may be lacking self-awareness. What areas is a lack of self-awareness may be affecting your quality of life? What areas would benefit more from that mindfulness, that self-awareness? And without judgment, as you become aware of an area of your life where you may be lacking self-awareness, without judgment, you can maybe begin to explore now the underlying beliefs, thoughts, or emotions that may be contributing to these patterns. Patterns of limited self-awareness. Being aware of the beliefs, the thoughts, or the emotions that may be contributing. And just observe them without judgment. Becoming more aware now. In your mind's eye, as you're stood there in front of that mirror, becoming aware of those areas where there may be a lack of self-awareness, exploring the beliefs, thoughts, or emotions that may be contributing to these patterns. I want you to see in your mind's eye that you holding on to a kite. And you can see the you in the mirror holding on to the kite also. The string is there, kite's floating in the air, its tail running down behind it. Little bands of colour. Now I don't know what colours there are on that kite that represent those patterns of limited self-awareness. Whatever those colours are for you, just see yourself there, holding that kite, holding on to those patterns of limited self-awareness. And when you are ready to be free of those patterns and to grow in self-awareness, I want you to let go of the kite now. Letting go of any limiting beliefs, self-judgment that may be holding you back and keeping you trapped in that level of low self-awareness. And as you let go of that kite, letting go of those patterns, releasing those patterns now, the kite drifts off up into the air, getting smaller and smaller until you can no longer see that, no longer feel that, no longer aware of that which was limiting your self-awareness. And as you look back at the you in the mirror, free from that limitation, I wonder where you can begin to notice a sense of inner peace and tranquility, having released and let go and embraced a deeper level of self-awareness. Allow that sense of inner peace and tranquility to spin and flow within you, and take some moments in silent meditation, just observing your breath and cultivating a sense of inner stillness. And within that inner stillness, you can relax even more, because it's good to relax. The more you relax, the better you can feel, and the better you feel, the more you can relax now. And as the image of the mirror fades, I want you to imagine, picture a candle of pure relaxation. Now, I don't know what color your unconscious mind chooses for that candle that allows you to relax and go into hypnosis now. But just picture that candle, whatever color that is for you, that allows you to relax and go into hypnosis now. flickering in front of you. Notice the color of it. Notice the candle flame at the top. I wonder how many colors there are in that candle of relaxation. 1 or 2, 3 or 4 colors flickering in that flame. However many is right for you now to go into trance as you drift into that candle, being aware of its warmth, its color wrapped around you. And the warmth triggers that first bead of wax, that first bead of relaxation to run down the length of that candle and to drip down into a pool of soft, warm relaxation, followed by another bead of light, bead of that wax just running down, joining the other, forming a deeper pool now. Drop after drop, running the length of that candle as you go deeper with each drip, with each running drop of molten relaxation, flowing down the sides of the candle. That pool of relaxation just getting deeper and deeper. I want you to find yourself a special place, a magical place, a mystical place, maybe a place in nature, somewhere of place of peace and deep tranquility. Maybe it's somewhere you've been, or maybe it's somewhere completely made up, but be there now. See the things you see, hear the things you hear, sense, know, and feel everything that you sense, know, and feel in that place that allows you to be there now. Notice those things around you. Notice how that peace and tranquility fills that place. And the more you notice things, and the more you think about and imagine this special magical place, this mystical place, the more you can begin maybe to allow yourself now to become fully present in this moment. Every time that's like now, in every place that's this, and so much more. And as you're here now in this place, I want you to picture, imagine a wonderful, bright, radiant light shining down upon you from above. I wonder what color that light is that represents your deep inner wisdom and intuition. Get a sense of that light. See that light. Feel and hear that light. Does it make a noise? Is it quiet? Does it buzz? Does it hum? That wonderful light of inner wisdom and intuition radiating down upon you. And as you become more aware of that, and as you relax deeper, and as you become more fully present in this moment, with my voice guiding you now, allow this light to begin to flow into your body. Running all the way through, filling you with a deep, glowing light. Running down into the feet, the ankles, the shins, the calves, the knees, the upper legs, the hips, the lower back and stomach, the upper back and chest, the shoulders, down the arms to the tips of the fingers, the neck, the jaw, the base of the skull, the face, filling with that wonderful light of wisdom and intuition. up to the top of the skull until your whole body is radiant with that light, filling you. And the more aware you become of that light, the more you think about that now, the deeper sense of self-awareness you can begin to notice. Becoming more aware of any sensation. Discovering thoughts or emotions that arise now for you as you connect with this inner wisdom. And as you allow that inner wisdom, that deeper self-awareness and intuition to grow stronger and stronger, I want you to imagine, picture yourself throughout every day, in a week's time. See a you that's been carrying that deeper sense of self-awareness and mindfulness with you each and every day, in all of your actions, interactions, and experiences. See that you in a week's of time, more self-aware, more connected to your inner wisdom, your inner intuition, living more fully in the moment, and drift into that you. Drift into that you, try that you on. See how that you sees, hear what that you hears, sense, know, feel and understand everything that you does that allows you now to be more connected to your self-awareness, your inner wisdom. And as you're trying that you on, you notice up ahead of you, in a month's time, having had a month of really discovering a deeper sense of self-awareness, of inner wisdom and intuition. See that you, radiant with that light of wisdom. And drift into that you, try that you on. What's it like now to be more aware, more connected to your inner voice, your inner wisdom, that inner self-knowledge that guides and leads? Really get a feel for that you. And as you're trying that you on, you look ahead and you notice you in 6 months' time had in 6 months of growing and developing in self-wisdom, self-awareness, inner intuition. See you in 6 months' time, more self-aware, more living in the now, knowing and understanding more about who you are and how that then benefits your life with the choices you make, the things that you do. See that you in 6 months' time, more self-awareness, greater inner wisdom, greater intuition, and step into that you. See what that you sees, hear what that you hears, know, feel and understand everything that you knows, feels and understands that allows you now to awaken to that deeper self-awareness, that inner wisdom, and bring back from that you to now every insight, every understanding, every moment of stillness and peace that led to that greater self-awareness, so you can begin that journey to self-awareness now. And take some time now to integrate, allow that understanding to become part of who you are now, growing in self-awareness, growing in inner wisdom, strengthening intuition, being more present in the moment. Make that a part of who you are now, even if you're not sure how you do that consciously yet. Your inner self, your unconscious mind knows exactly what it needs to do to help you grow and develop in self-awareness from this seed that you plant today and moving forward. That's right. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to just gently open your eyes. You can stay with that wonderful, relaxed, wonderful feeling of hypnosis and trance. Or if you're listening to this again and you've chosen to stop at this point, you can just open your eyes and feel good now, in this time, in this place. But whichever you choose, you can open your eyes now as I share with you an exercise, a more practical exercise for increasing self-awareness. As you relax and listen to this, you do not have to do anything to take this in. There's a part of you that's listening that knows how to learn and can take what it needs to allow you to apply this technique, this method for self-awareness to your life. So the first thing we do is, with this exercise, this technique, is to identify a specific area in your life where you would like to increase self-awareness. And it can be related to your personal life, your professional life, a relationship, or any aspect of your life. And one good way you can do this is by using the mirror meditation to identify an area of your life where you'd really like to become more self-aware now. And this is an exercise that's good to do when you've got a pen and paper. So once you've done that, you sit down, you write down, and it's good to work at one thing at a time. Just one thing at a time. It allows your mind to make the necessary connections and changes that are necessary for you to move forward. So once you've got that one area of your life where you'd like to develop a deeper sense of self-awareness, sit down with a pen and paper, write that at the top or in the middle, whatever area that is, and then ask yourself the following questions. What specific thoughts, beliefs, or emotions are associated with this area of my life? Now, it may be that in doing this exercise, the answers don't all come at once, and that's okay. If it takes a few days to get the answer to these questions, or even a week or so, you're worth it. You're worth that time you put into you to grow in self-awareness. So the first question, what specific thoughts, beliefs, or emotions are associated with this area of my life? Write them down. You can either list them or you can write about them. But once you've got those thoughts, beliefs that are associated with that area of your life, those feelings, ask yourself, how do those thought patterns, those patterns of feeling, those patterns of behavior contribute to my current experiences in this, whatever area of your life you're wanting more self-awareness in this area of my life? How do these patterns contribute to my current experiences in this area of my life? And again, take your time. Think about this, look about this. Those thoughts, those feelings, emotions, those patterns that they represent, what are they contributing? How are they contributing to your current experience of that aspect, whether it's professional, personal aspect, spiritual aspect of your life? Once you've done that, once you've got that list, the next question you ask yourself is, what actions or behaviors could I take to increase my self-awareness and mindfulness in this area? So looking through your previous answers, what is it that you're not doing yet that will help increase your self-awareness in this situation? Is there a different way of being, a different way of behaving? Is there a limiting belief that you need to let go? And we covered that in another workshop, how to do that. Is it people? Sometimes we have to look at the people in our lives or the things we're doing to see whether they're distracting us from our own self-awareness, in which case maybe we need to change a dynamic somewhere. Look at those patterns, look at those beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, and ask yourself, what can you do that will increase your self-awareness and mindfulness in that area of your life? And if you're struggling with that answer, then using the as if technique from the limiting beliefs workshop is a really good way of doing that. So you can picture yourself as if you've made that change, as if you've discovered those actions and behaviors, as if you've expanded your self-awareness in that area. And you can imagine yourself having done that, being more self-aware in that area of your life, and then stepping into that you, or drawing that into you to gain whatever that is that you has, that you have not quite discovered yet, that will allow you to be more self-aware now in that area of your life. And when you've done all that, you can use the insights, and there will be realizations, little things that connect. You go, oh, I've been doing this, that's been holding me back. And the whole process awakens just by itself a deeper sense of self-awareness. And you can use those insights to develop an action plan. Actually write out, I'm going to do this or these things to increase my self-awareness and mindfulness in this area of my life. Write down your plan. Write down just one area. This is why we only do one area at a time. You don't want to be working on 100 plans at once. You just want to get one, make a change, move on to the next. So once you've done this exercise, write out your action plan. These are the things that I will do to allow me to be more self-aware in this area of my life. Might only be a few steps in it. It doesn't have to be a mammoth like task, but the next important stage is, once you've got that plan, is do it. Do it. Within all these workshops, do it is the mantra you should carry with you, because it's only when we do this stuff it makes the difference. Whilst we just think about it, or whilst we just muse over it and then forget it, it's not going to do anything for us. But if you follow the exercises, follow the meditations, follow the hypnosis, you will notice benefits, you will notice differences. So with this, taking that responsibility for your own action, taking responsibility for that area where you want more self-awareness, creating a plan out of your realizations that will allow you to be self-aware in that situation. It could be something as simple as you realize through this that there's a relationship with a friend which, because of a lack of self-awareness, you realize you've not really been hearing maybe a problem that they've got as clearly as you could, in which case your plan might be as simple as, whenever, I'm going to say Dave, first name that popped into my head, whenever Dave talks about X, I'm going to stop and listen. And if I'm unsure about anything, I will question. That's an action plan, because if you've not been doing that to build your awareness and build your self-awareness in that situation, then a new action will make a difference. And remember, if we keep doing the same thing, we'll keep getting the same results. So by changing just one thing in your approach to that area of your life, you can start to build greater self-awareness. And it won't be just you that benefits from that, it will be other people too. So just allowing your eyes to just close again for me. Taking a deep breath in, returning back to that inner focus, that sense of peace within. And as you rest there, having worked through this workshop, I'm going to speak to that inner part of you, that inner self. Because the unconscious mind, the inner self, knows exactly what it needs to do to help you to be more self-aware in those areas of your life that you choose from now on. And I'm going to ask that part, that inner self, to do whatever it needs to do, to access any resources, any understandings that will allow you from this moment forward to begin to discover a deeper sense of self, of self-awareness, of those things that mean things to you, of those feelings that you have, and that self-awareness of how you interact with the rest of the world that can enhance that interaction as you begin now to discover more. So we're going to just take a moment for your inner self, your unconscious mind, to do whatever it needs to do. That's right. Whatever that is, that allows you a more self-aware now in more areas of your life. And you can, without even knowing how, make the most of that new self-awareness to improve life in all areas and aspects of your life. So as you're lying or sitting there, listening to this, breathing, you can begin to discover the deeper sense of peace and centering that comes from a greater sense of self-awareness. Listening to your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, trusting that intuition, benefiting many aspects of your life as that journey of a deeper self-awareness begins now for you. And I wonder just how many benefits in life you will discover from being more self-aware. As I count from 1 to 5, 1 being where you are now, 5 eyes open, back here feeling refreshed, revitalized, feeling good. And tonight you're going to sleep really well. You wake up in the morning with a deeper sense of self-awareness, a growing sense of purpose. When you know your self-awareness, when you're more self-aware, you know more what you want from life. And the more you know what you want from life, the more you begin to make that happen now. So that's 1, every cell, fiber and muscle of the body coming back to normal everyday awareness. 2, to be the person you want to be, to live life as you want to live it. 3, feel a whoosh of energy as you take a deep breath in, filling the body, the mind and the soul with a wonderful energy, ready to embrace life. 4, coming back now. Just imagine it's a hot day and you're dancing under a fountain and that water's washing around and clearing all the passageways of mind, body and soul. And 5, back here, feeling good. Have a stretch, open your eyes and feel good now.